What would you think if you heard that a 16-year-old girl was about to be married? Like many of us, you'll be like, whoa, that's way too young. But you know, that's the premise of the 2004 hit, My Little Bride, which became a huge success here in Korea that year. So this rom-com stars two people, Bo-eun, who's a 16-year-old college student, and Sang-min, who's a 20-something-year-old in university. The two are soon forced into an arranged marriage because of Bo-eun's dying grandfather's last wish. So when Bo-eun is forced to get married, she becomes Sang-min's little bride, hinting at the movie's title. Ignoring the obvious age gap just for a little bit, being married so young adds its own set of problems, especially that since one is still in high school and the other is just in college. But despite this movie has plenty of comedic laughs and romantic cheese for the rom-com in all of us. Now back to that age gap I mentioned earlier, this taboo subject, this elephant in the room. Now I really can't blame you because if you just look at the story at first glance, the story feels really weird. I mean, after all, a 16-year-old girl is getting married to a college student several years her age. But the movie actually portrays the marriage in a very comedic, lighthearted way. It actually takes the taboo, controversial subject and handles it very well. Not once while watching this film did I feel like I was uncomfortable or this is like weird. It just actually felt normal. Rather than just concentrating on the marriage itself, I was actually laughing at the funny, awkward, odd moments and the comedic laughs that this movie had. It was funny to see how two kids, and yes, I still think that Sang-min, even though he's an adult, it was still pretty much a kid. I was really just feeling with them that, wow, marriage must be really tough no matter what age you are, especially if you're young. Their body language and their facial expressions were just on point throughout this entire movie. So we can't talk about My Little Bride without talking about his actors, and there's two main actors in this movie. The first one is Bo-eun, played by Geun-young, who is considered back then Korea's national little sister, and the second being Kim Rae-won, who plays the college student Sang-min. As I hinted to earlier, what makes this movie is the chemistry between the two leads, how it actually doesn't make the marriage weird, how it actually shows that it was just really funny and it's how they played off each other. You can just tell that they liked being around each other and it just had jokes and it just flowed so well. Geun-young in particular showed off her versatility as last year in 2003, she played a shy girl in the horror movie A Tale of Two Sisters. So she really shifted from a shy, scared girl to a more assertive, sassy girl in My Little Bride. Kim Rae-won, on the other hand, also hit it big last year in 2003 with his hit movie Rooftop Room Cat. So after that movie came out, he became a household name. So when My Little Bride came out, he was definitely one of the leading candidates to take the male role. And Kim Rae-won is still going strong these days with the hit drama Doctors. This movie was also noted to have a future popular actress in waiting, Shin Se-kyung, who was back then 14 years old and played a minor role in this movie. But now you hear Shin Se-kyung in a lot of places and see her in a lot of ads. She was one of those stars that you knew would be big in 5 to 10 years. So this movie is actually a remake of a Hong Kong movie called My Wife's 18, 2 years earlier in 2002. So My Little Bride wasn't the first Asian movie to touch on the subject of marrying a very young girl, as My Wife's 18 became a hit in its native Hong Kong. Nonetheless, this Korean remake became a huge hit in Korean movie theaters, ranking second among domestic films, first being Taekwook-gi, and fourth overall if you include foreign films. The movie's OST also became popular, and as it was known to be one of the catchy movie OSTs of 2004. One of the songs in particular, My Love, pretty much personified the whole movie and was known to many Koreans. It was sung by former Baby Vox member Shim Eun-jin. So now we gotta talk about the good and the bad of this movie. First, let's go with the good. It has plenty of laughs, it has this cute, innocent, romantic love, and the movie for a rom-com actually has a lot of meat. It's actually around 2 hours, and there's not much filler. A lot of scenes in this rom-com actually make sense, and they're not just there just to be there. And again, I have to mention the chemistry of the two actors, Kim Rae-won and Geun-young. Like, they really just made this movie, and I don't think this movie could have pulled it off without two actors of their caliber. And lastly, this movie has some good music. I was actually singing along to some of it. Yeah. Now the bad. I really don't have much bad for this movie. The only bad thing I really have that's kind of major is that the characters are kind of cliche. And even for a rom-com where you expect cliched characters, you can kind of see it a mile coming away. And the plot is fairly predictable as well. But other than those two flaws, I really didn't have any bad things about this movie. I mean, it's a rom-com after all. It's supposed to be lighthearted and funny. So what's my final verdict on My Little Bride? Well, it's easy. Watch this movie if you love rom-coms. Not only that, if you liked My Sassy Girl, you're probably going to be craving for more rom-coms, especially from the early to mid-2000 era, which My Sassy Girl came out, as well as My Little Bride. And My Little Bride definitely fills in that rom-com itch. It will definitely fill that cheesy romantic desire that you guys crave for in rom-coms. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video review of My Little Bride. So what did you guys think about our review? Did you guys agree, disagree? Have you seen the movie? We'd love to hear your comments in the comments below. And if you guys want to hear more about in-depth Asian movies, please hit the subscribe button. It'd really help us and we'd really appreciate it. And lastly, if you guys want more Asian movie suggestions, questions, please download our free ebook, The 108 Asian Movies to Watch, below. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Take it easy, guys.